Hello. Welcome back to my channel, Victorious Human, with me, Violet. I pray that you are well and you are enjoying the Bible reading sessions. And I pray that you've also been inspired to read and read and read. So, why am I here? Well, one day as I was scrolling through the news headlines, I came across an article which caught my attention. It read, "The next pandemic is already coming." I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What is going on? So I read on and I discovered that this article was from a book that had been written by Kate Bingham and Tim Hems. So they've written a book on this matter, and the Daily Mail just took a portion of the book and published it as one of their articles. So it came out in the Daily Mail 22 September 2023. So it caught my attention. What is the next logical step? The next logical step is for me to read and find out what this is all about. So this is what I found out. I'm going to at times read as if I am Kate or Tim or the news reporter. So I'm going to try to be as non-biased as possible. I'm just going to, you see what I mean when I start reading. So this does not represent how I feel. I'm just trying to be as non-biased as possible and bring the article as how I viewed it. But at the end, I will weigh in on what I think. Yeah? Okay. Let's get started. As I have already told you, this article caught my attention. It said the next pandemic is already coming. I was like, that can't be, because we have only just come out of one and we are all still recovering from the last one. I don't think anyone wants any more lockdowns, any more quarantines, any more mandatory this or that. Why? Because there were so many losses, be it in businesses, be it in personal lives, financial wise. Many people are here, lost their homes, became homeless during this quarantine, this and that, and what have you. And emotionally wise, many people mental health deteriorated because of loneliness, because of being not being able to be in touch with their loved ones. So mental health issues went up, fear, anxiety skyrocketed. Why? Because people did not know what was going on. The people were paralyzed with fear. People behaved in fear, and this fear turned into hatred towards the unknown. They didn't know what they were fighting. They were fighting the invisible enemy. Did you know that C-19 was and is still regarded as a routine illness? It is regarded as a routine illness that can kill the vulnerable and the elderly. But guess what? That is what most diseases do. They kill the vulnerable and the elderly. And during the last pandemic, it is reported that 20 million people are thought to have died worldwide. 20 million people died due to C10. But can I tell you another statistic? In 2019, 8.9 million people are thought to have died from ischemic heart disease alone. 8.9. And 9.5 million people are thought to have died from cancer alone, totaling around 18 million people dying from ischemic heart disease and other heart diseases. And this one, just ischemic heart diseases. Can you imagine other people who died from other heart diseases and cancer? 18 million worldwide. What about those who died from Alzheimer's? Those who died from diabetes? Those who died from pneumonia? Those who died from other diseases, which HIV diseases we don't know about? Those who died from accident? The numbers are staggering. But that aside, why did I bring it up? All I wanted was to point out that one way or another, people are dying from one disease or another. The question is, what do you intend to keep in front of you? So what do you intend to focus on? Do you intend to focus on the number of people dying from C10, or to look at the whole picture? You need to be aware that the media is going to keep you well informed. It's going to tell you about all potential hazards, all potential threats, and all potential diseases. The question is, what are you going to let into your brain? What are you going to feed on? Remember, as a man thinks, so does he become. And out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what you let into your heart through your ears, eyes, and other means will determine what comes out of you when our world changes even more. In John 14, verse 1, Jesus said, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me." If you read further, you go to verse 16, which says, "I will ask the Father, and he will give you another counselor to be with you forever." So we are not alone. We've got the Holy Spirit to guide us, to lead us, to help us, to be with us always. We can never be alone. So there is no reason for us to fear or to panic. So when you get a moment, do read the whole chapter, John 14. Now, getting back to the news headlines from the Daily Mail, 22 September 2023. It read, "The next pandemic is already coming, and it could kill millions more than C19. It goes on to say, we need to prepare for it now. So, what do we know about the next pandemic? Well, we know that it is coming. We do not yet know what form it will take, but we must prepare. Take action now, because we do not want to be caught off guard. Well, I'm a bit confused as to the type of vaccine that will be prepared. Are we just making assumptions that it will be another virus? not a bacteria, not a fungal, not a biological thing, only a virus. The bad thing about viruses is that they mutate and form new variants each time. And their motto is, the viruses, their motto is replicate, replicate, replicate to the power 10. And also, their motto is infect as many hosts as possible to the power 10 and mutate, mutate, mutate to the power 10. In other words, they want to live by all means necessary. In view of all this, World Health Organization has come up with an expression, disease X. So, just what is disease X? Well, disease X signifies the awareness that a significant global outbreak might arise from a pathogen currently unrecognized as a cause of human illness. So, from a pathogen which is currently unrecognized as a cause of human illness, it is not yet known, but it exists. It's somewhere out there. We just don't know that it causes human illness. So, to combat disease X, vaccines must be engineered and delivered in record time. By the way, this term disease X was coined ages ago by World Health Organization. Yeah. So, to combat disease X, vaccines must be engineered and delivered in record time. But don't be alarmed. There is absolutely no guarantee that disease X will happen. However, should it happen, we need to be prepared and ready to jump into action. So it is only logical that, guess what? We form a single global body response. It is only logical that we form a single global body response which will be responsible for our responses to disease X. The obvious one to take up this mantle is the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, or CEP. So the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, or CEPI, CEP, which was launched by Davos in 2017 and is working closely with World Health Organization. CEP will develop vaccines against future epidemics. It will aim to be able to manufacture a vaccine in 100 days and also to create a library of vaccines that can be used in a pandemic. Don't worry though, there are already volunteers trying out these new vaccines. So by the time you get them, they will be approved and safe for use. CEP, or the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, is only one step. So next step is, why not have a global fund with a global budget? All we need is for all countries to contribute depending on their wealth, and vaccines will be distributed depending on infection levels. The higher the infections, the more the vaccines, regardless of the contributions. For this to be a success, all countries should agree to sign up to a global pandemic treaty. Why? So that all countries can share information among their scientists so that there is clear accountability for vaccine development and manufacturing. But don't worry, disease X is thought to be about 10 years away. Whew, what a relief, I think. At the end of the day, research and development is continuing. Ethical questions and landmines are being ironed out. Disease X represents the knowledge that a serious international epidemic could be caused by a pathogen currently unknown to cause human disease. Our world is changing. People are moving from city to city. So they are moving also from the small countryside into cities. There is mass globalization. Acres of natural habitat are being destroyed to build houses. Wetlands are vanishing. Therefore, more and more animals are beginning to mingle with humans. Hence, ticks and other vectors are spreading to humans. I don't know if you've heard that article about the genetically modified mosquitoes. So I'm not really surprised that now there are mosquitoes in places where mosquitoes should not have been able to live. It's not only something to do with the habitation changing, but also genetical modification. I think this is besides the point. I just thought I would throw it in there. Something to think about. It's always good to think. Don't just take things for granted. Think. You need to think. Back to the article at hand. Can you see the link between climate, animals, and humans? Can you see the link? That is also something to think about. These animals are now carrying diseases that can harm humans. So the next logical step is become a vegetarian. Don't eat meat. I'm just saying, I think that's the only logical step. Can you see where this is going? You do the math, and can you see where we are heading? Anyway, let me stop here. I pray you found this very informative and a good prompt to keep praying. And if you want to find out more, just look up Disease X. Just go to this article by Kate and the team. They've actually written a whole book on this subject matter, on how to move forward as a whole world. We're now becoming one, becoming one, unified in the name of combating disease X. One world order for your health. Wow. Ain't that amazing? I find that amazing. So all I can say is pray. The gospel must be spread throughout the world. More and more people must know there is hope. There is no reason to fear. Trust God. Rely on Him. He is watching from above. Be prepared and stand firm. And remember, God prepared the timelines and the things are slowly falling into place. But do not worry or panic. For Matthew 24 says, these are only birth pains. The big one is yet to come, but it sure is getting closer. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1 to 20. I'm going to read it. It gives you a clear picture. In fact, if you want to know how seriously God takes his word, just read the book of Deuteronomy. He will give you line upon line, precept upon precept about how to just do life. Not as a Christian, just to do life as a good human being, how to live life. So I will read Deuteronomy 28, verses 1 to 20, but it goes all the way to 68 if you're interested, to verse 68, so you can read for yourself. I'm not going to read it all, otherwise I'll be here reading and reading and reading, and that's not my intention. I'm just going to read 1 to 20. So Deuteronomy 28, it reads, if you will listen diligently, so you can hear, there is a condition. If you will listen diligently to the voice of the Lord your God, being watchful to do all his commands, which I command you this day. So this is Moses talking to the children of Israel. And I think it applies to anybody who calls themselves a child of God. If you will listen to the words of God, to his word, if you listen to it and be diligent to serve him with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your strength, if you will be diligent to serve him, being watchful to do his commandments, which I command you this day, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you if you heed the voice of the Lord your God. Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of your body, and the fruit of your ground, and the fruit of your beasts, and the increase of your cattle, and the young of your flock. Blessed shall be your basket and your kneading trough. Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. The Lord shall cause your enemies to rise up against you, to be defeated before your face. They shall come out against you one way, and flee before you 7 ways. The Lord shall command the blessing upon you in your storehouses and in all that you undertake, and he will bless you in the land which the Lord your God gives you. The Lord will establish you as a people holy to himself, as he has sworn to you, if you keep the commandments of the Lord your God and walk in his ways. And all people of the earth shall see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of you. Oh, they shall see that you are blessed, isn't it? And the Lord shall make you, he shall make you have a surplus of prosperity through the fruit of your body, of your livestock, and of your ground, in the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give you. The Lord shall open to you his good treasuries, the heavens, to give you rain of your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hands. And you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. And the Lord shall make you the head and not the tail, and you shall be above only, and you shall not be beneath, if you heed the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day, and are watchful to do them. And you shall not turn aside from any of the words which I command you this day, to the right hand or to the left hand, to go after other gods to save them. That's 14. 15 is now for those who say, we heard what you said, but we are not for all that. We've got other plans. We would rather save other gods. We would rather do things our way. What does he have to say to that? But if you will not obey the voice of the Lord your God, being watchful to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, then all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the field. Cursed shall be the basket, shall be your basket and your kneading trough. Cursed shall be the fruit of your body, of your land, of the increase of your cattle, and the young of your sheep. Cursed shall you be when you come in, and cursed shall you be when you go out. The Lord shall send you curses, confusion, and rebuke in every enterprise to which you set your hand, until you are destroyed, perishing quickly because of the evil of your doings, by which you have forsaken me. Wow, wow, wow. If you get the time, read on all the way to verse 68 is all I can tell you. You can see there is joy and protection in the Lord. You know what? The kingdom of God, it's a kingdom. It is a kingdom. And every kingdom has rules and regulations. And so does a loving father. The truth of the matter is, if you follow the rules, love and obey them, then you will live in peace. But if you break the rules, you face consequences, but you are still loved and wanted. But you need to be willing to obey the rules, follow them, love them, and do them. Otherwise, there'll be consequences. You learn your lessons when you break the rules. And you repent and you move on with life. Learn to live under the protection of the Father. Does Psalm 91 not say, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in safety"? Yes, it says that. So that is all from me for now. So I say, remain blessed and continue to be victorious. Remain watchful, pray, and you will be all right. You will be okay.